The silence in the neutral zone station stretched for exactly 47 seconds after the Varaki delegation walked out. Ambassador Thexari's parting words still echoed through the conference chamber. Your species offers nothing but empty promises and primitive posturing. The Dominion considers these talks terminated. Diplomat Elena Rodriguez sat perfectly still at the negotiating table, her hands folded, watching the ornate doors seal shut behind the departing aliens. Around the table, representatives from 6 other species fidgeted with various appendages, their translator devices humming with nervous chatter. "Well," said Chancellor Dunn of the Keth Republic, his forearms gesticulating wildly, "that could have gone better. Perhaps we should reconvene in a few cycles, let tempers cool." "No." Elena's voice cut through the diplomatic babble like a blade. She stood slowly, gathering her data tablets with methodical precision. "The talks are concluded." Ambassador Yulnara of the Seraphim Collective tilted her luminous head, concern rippling through her bioluminescent patterns. "Surely you don't mean to abandon the peace process entirely? The Varaki can be difficult, but they're not unreasonable. Their territorial demands were excessive, yes, but—" Elena smiled, and something in that expression made every alien in the room take an involuntary step backward. "You misunderstand, Ambassador. I'm not abandoning anything. I'm simply informing you that humanity will be taking a different approach to conflict resolution." She activated her personal communicator, speaking in clear, measured tones. "Admiral Chen, this is Rodriguez. Execute Protocol 7. The response crackled back immediately. "Confirmed. Protocol 7 is active. ETA to target systems, 72 hours. Chancellor Dunn's skin shifted to a deep purple of distress. "What is Protocol 7? What are you doing?" Elena continued packing her materials, her movements calm and efficient. "For the past 18 months, while we've been sitting in these talks, humanity has been preparing. Not for war, you understand. War implies that both sides have a reasonable chance of victory. What we've prepared for is something else entirely." She paused at the chamber's main viewport, gazing out at the stars. The Varaki Dominion controls 47 star systems. Their military consists of approximately 6 million active personnel across 300 capital ships and supporting vessels. Their industrial capacity spans 12 major manufacturing worlds. Their population numbers roughly 8 billion across their territory. The aliens exchanged glances, their various forms of communication creating a symphony of worried sounds and flashing lights. "Those are impressive numbers," Elena continued conversationally. "By galactic standards, they represent a significant mid-tier power. The kind that smaller species must negotiate with, compromise with, submit to." She turned back to face the assembly. "But here's what the Varaki didn't understand about humans. We don't negotiate with extinction." Ambassador Zekthul of the Maritime Consortium rippled nervously. "Extinction? But they only demanded territorial concessions, mining rights and tribute. Standard expansion terms. Standard for you, perhaps?" Elena's smile never wavered. "But humanity learned long ago that giving ground to a predator only encourages it to take more." The Varaki opened this negotiation by demanding 12 human colony worlds, our entire outer rim mining operations, an annual tribute equal to 30% of our GDP. When we counter-offered, they increased their demands. She activated the room's holographic display, showing a detailed map of local space. Red markers indicated Varaki systems, while blue showed human territories. They believed they were negotiating from a position of strength. Superior numbers, older civilization, established trade routes. What they failed to consider is that humans have never been particularly impressed by superior numbers. The display shifted, showing real-time tactical information. The assembled aliens gasped as they saw the scope of human military movement. Hundreds of vessels, moving in perfect coordination toward every single Varaki system simultaneously. "This is madness," whispered Chancellor Mordun. "You can't possibly take on the entire Dominion at once. The casualties will be minimal, actually," Elena interrupted. "You see, we learned something very important during our first contact with galactic civilization. Most species out here have forgotten how to fight a total war. You've all grown comfortable with limited conflicts, territorial disputes, economic pressure. You wage war like it's a business transaction." The holographic display zoomed in on specific human vessels. They were unlike anything the aliens had seen before, sleek, predatory shapes that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "We spent these 18 months of talks doing more than just building ships," Elena explained. "We studied every aspect of Varaki society, their infrastructure, their communication networks, their supply chains, their psychology. We identified every critical vulnerability in their civilization." She gestured to the display. "At this moment, human forces are moving to simultaneously strike every major Varaki military installation, industrial center, and communication hub. Not to occupy them, that would be inefficient. To eliminate them entirely." The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Ambassador Yilnara's bioluminescence flickered with terror. "You're talking about genocide." Elena's expression hardened. "No, I'm talking about victory. The Varaki military will be neutralized. Their leadership will be eliminated. Their industrial capacity will be reduced to zero. But their civilian populations will be left intact with a choice. They can scatter to whatever refuge systems will take them, or they can accept human administration and learn to live peacefully." She closed her data tablets with a sharp snap. "This is what happens when you mistake human patience for weakness. We tried diplomacy because we genuinely prefer peaceful solutions. We offered reasonable compromises because we hope to find common ground. But the moment you make it clear that you see our courtesy as submission, our restraint as vulnerability..." She shrugged. "Well, you get to learn why Earth spent 4 billion years trying to kill us, and why we're still here, while most of our planet's other apex predators are extinct." Chancellor Mordun found his voice, though it shook with terror. "The other powers, the major civilizations, they won't stand for this kind of warfare. They'll unite against you." Elena was already walking toward the door, but she paused to look back. "Will they? Look around this room, Chancellor. Look at your faces, your sensor readings, your stress responses." She smiled once more. "You're not thinking about uniting against us. You're thinking about how to make sure you never give us a reason to add your systems to our target list." The doors sealed behind her, leaving the alien diplomats in horrified silence. Within hours, reports would begin flooding in from across Varaki space. Military installations simply vanishing, communication networks going dark, industrial worlds falling silent. The Varaki Dominion would cease to exist as a political entity within 72 hours, just as Elena had promised. But more importantly, every major power in the galaxy would receive a very clear message: humans preferred peace, but they were remarkably efficient at war. And they never, ever bluffed about either. The age of humanity treating galactic politics as a mere negotiation was over. The age of everyone else wondering what other protocols humans had prepared was just beginning.